What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sierra, and today's video is going to be the third part of this little post-wedding series that I'm doing. Today, I wanted to share with you guys the 6 things that me and Jonathan are so glad that we either did at our wedding or spent money on at our wedding. I feel like this is one of the most important things because we were very frugal in a lot of things, but there are definitely some things that we splurged on and some things that we did to save money that we are so happy that we did, along with just some other fun things that we did at things like our reception and stuff like that I wanted to share with you guys in case you are getting married in the next year and you don't have any idea what you want to do, or you want to know kind of what I think is worth it, stuff like that. So this is going to be my last post-wedding video for a little bit. It is the holiday season. Thanksgiving and Christmas are coming up, and I do want to do some holiday videos and things like that, some festive stuff and some more vlogs. So for now, this is going to be my last post-wedding series video for a little bit. If there's anything else that you would like to see like post-wedding, leave it in the comments below and I will try to film it and get it up like within the new year maybe, or something like that, because I know that this is the time of year that a lot of people are getting engaged and starting to plan weddings. So I would love to help you along with your journey, seeing as we just got married last month. It's been a month today actually as I'm filming this. So I hope that you guys enjoy, and let's just get right into the video. So I wanted to share with you guys, like I said, the 6 things that me and Jonathan kind of came up with that we are the most glad that we either spent money on or did at our wedding. Obviously this is not everything that we're glad we did, because our wedding was absolutely freaking perfect and everything was just so awesome, but these are like the top 6 things that we could think of like off the top of our head that maybe some people don't necessarily think about, or are things that people may be a little bit hesitant to spend money on, things like that. So the first thing that I want to say that we are the most excited and glad that we spent the money on is our photographer and videographer team. And when I tell you that they were amazing in every aspect of the word. Like, that's not even the right word to describe them. We absolutely loved their team. We love them all. They did such a great job. We only have our sneak peeks back. We have about 100 of them back right now, and they are just so awesome. I'll include some right here. We also got our 1-minute teaser trailer back for our video, and we love that. Obviously there is going to be a longer one. I believe it's supposed to be 6 to 8 minutes long, but we haven't gotten that one back yet, but we just know that it's going to be amazing. And I will say I spent so much money on this, but I do not regret a single penny of what I spent on this photography and videography team. Jonathan had even told me, he was like, I don't know why you're spending that much money. My mom told me, like, I'm not helping you pay for that. That is outrageous. It is crazy. And I will say that the photographer videographer team is the most expensive thing I paid for our wedding, like out of the venue, out of my dress, the food, everything. The photographer and videographer was definitely the most expensive, but I believe it was so worth it. It was the most important thing to me on the day of our wedding. I didn't really care about anything else, but I wanted to have amazing pictures and an amazing video that I could look back on, and I 110% believe that that mission was accomplished with them. So we used 𝐬𝐴𝐕 Photography. I will link his YouTube down below. I'll actually link our specific teaser trailer down below. Their team is just amazing. I cannot say enough great things about them. They are out of Charlotte, North Carolina, so if you're in the area, or even if you're not, I believe they travel. They have went up on their prices, so it is a little bit more expensive than when I booked, but when I tell you I don't regret a single penny, like, I do not regret a single penny. And I am such a frugal person, but I literally was like, we have to have these people. Like, I knew before me and Jonathan were even engaged, when we first started talking about getting married, I was like, this is who I want to do our wedding. No questions asked. That is actually how we picked our date. A lot of people think I did that backwards, but I wholeheartedly stand by that decision. Do not regret it at all, and I will recommend them for literally the rest of my life because they were so awesome and our pictures were amazing. They were just so much fun to work with. They made everybody feel so like beautiful, and it made all the guys feel good about themselves. And even Jonathan was like, you know, I hate that I didn't help you pay for that because it was definitely worth it, and I really loved having them there. And he was like, they just boosted my confidence. They were like our hype men stuff, so they were awesome, and I really loved them. Cannot say enough great things about 𝐬𝐴𝐕 Photography and their whole team and their videography team and just everybody. I could go on for literally hours about how amazing they are, and I still have people coming up to me that were either in the wedding or at the wedding, or just people that see our pictures that I posted on Facebook from them, and people are just coming out of the woodworks to tell me how awesome they are and how much they love them and all the things. So I am definitely super excited and so glad that I spent the money on that, because that is, like I said in a previous video, the one thing that we still have when everything is said and done. We still have our pictures and our video for life. So that is, to me, what was the most important to us. So I strongly suggest that you pick a photographer that you love their work, and especially if you want pictures for years to come that you can look back at. Even if you think that the price is a lot, it probably is, but it's most likely exactly worth it. I will go ahead and share. I believe I spent $3,800 for the photography, and then I believe it was like $3,200 for the videography. It was very expensive, and as I mentioned, the most expensive thing for our wedding day, but I do not regret that decision at all. I stand by that, and I will stand by that forever because we only have sneak peeks back, and I am obsessed with them. I cannot stop looking at them. So definitely recommend getting a good photographer. It is so worth the money. Even if you are balling on a budget, you can literally get married in your backyard. If you have a good photographer, they will have amazing pictures. They will take amazing pictures, and you will be able to look back and remember that day forever. And I am so glad that we spent the money, well, that I spent the money on the photographer that we chose. He was amazing, and like I said, I cannot say enough great things about him, but I will cut that short. Like I said, I could talk about them for hours. I seriously love them so much, but we will move right on into the next thing. So continuing on, the next two things aren't necessarily like spending money, but it's about how we saved money, kind of. So we used fake flowers. We did not have any real flowers at all. My bouquet was completely fake flowers. My bridesmaids, all of the boutonnieres and everything like that for the parents, they were all fake flowers everywhere. The centerpieces had fake flowers. Do not regret that at all. It was so much cheaper, and my mom, thank God, is very crafty, so she was able to make all of our bouquets. We didn't have to pay someone to do that, and honestly, all you have to do is watch a couple YouTube videos, and I'm sure that it's probably not that hard to figure out. They all looked amazing. We didn't have to worry about them wilting or coming apart or anything like that, and then when we threw them and they went everywhere, like, it didn't matter. I'm not preserving them. Obviously, they're fake. They can be reused in the future for someone else if we need to or something like that. The only real flowers that we had were for our flower girl, and those flowers actually came from, I had a bridal luncheon type thing, and we had real flowers at that. My mom like dried out flowers. I don't know if that's actually what it's called, but she basically dried them out, and so they like faded a little bit, but they were still real flowers. So whenever the flower girl threw out the flowers, we didn't have to go back and pick them up because they were real flowers. They would just, you know, kind of disintegrate into the earth eventually, so we didn't have to pick those up. So those are the only real flowers that we had, but again, those were just for the flower girl. They were already dried up and everything, so we didn't have to worry about those dying because they were pretty much already dead, but they were still pretty. I'll include some pictures here of what our bouquets looked like. They matched perfectly with everything that we were wearing, and like I said, it didn't matter if they were in the freezing cold or if they would have been in the direct sunlight. Like, they were gonna look the same no matter what happened throughout the day, so we didn't have to worry about weather. We didn't have to worry about keeping them watered or anything like that. They literally sat in my mom's basement for months before she even worked on them, and then after she finished them, they sat in there for weeks after that. And of course, since they were fake flowers, they still looked exactly the same, and we loved them. They looked so good. Don't regret that at all. I know flowers are super expensive, and again, those weren't something that I was really too concerned about, so I'm glad that we used fake flowers. Saved a lot of money that way, and then we could just kind of make it look how we wanted to. Didn't have to worry about anything, and then if we need to reuse them in the future, then we can. The next thing that we saved money on, I don't necessarily know if you would consider it saving money, but in my eyes it is. So instead of renting suits or tuxes for our groomsmen and obviously the groom, we actually had everyone buy their suit. We did this for a couple reasons. The store that we went to, the suits to rent were like $150, I think it was, and then to buy the suit it was only $160. So I was like, for $10 more you can just keep the suit, and then we didn't have to worry about if they ripped it or got it dirty or something like that, because those boys are wild. So it was bound to happen. Luckily nobody ripped theirs or anything like that, so it wouldn't have mattered, but just in the instance that something bad did go wrong like that, for example ripping the butt out of it or something, or like spilling beer all over it or something like that, we didn't have to worry about getting fined for returning it and it being messed up, because you paid for this. If you want to get it fixed, cool. If not, that's cool too. A lot of our groomsmen probably won't wear them again, but they do have the option to. Obviously now that they have kept it, Jonathan has kept his, and I will insert what it looks like right here. They were beautiful, and then also you can make sure that you get the exact size that you need. You don't have to worry about who's been in it before you or anything like that. You get to keep it. You can get it altered to how you want it to fit and all that good stuff. So especially for the fact that it was only going to be $10 more than renting the entire suit and you get to keep it, we decided, you know, that was probably better financially, because it was going to cost the same either way. And then if they didn't want to keep it, they can sell it after, or try to at least. We just found that that was better for us. Obviously that was a more local store to us. It wasn't at like a David's Bridal or anything that's like a chain necessarily. I would definitely look into the cost and see if it's worth it. For us, we thought that it was, and I know several other people that have done the same thing. So that is one thing that we did. Like I said, we didn't necessarily save money because it was $10 more, but at least if something were to happen with it, or if it didn't fit, which happened with several people, they could just go get it altered to exactly how they wanted it to fit, and then in the future if they want to wear it again, of course they can. So the next two things I want to share are things that we did at the wedding, like on the wedding day. So me and Jonathan did a first look. And I know a lot of people think, oh, that's bad luck, whatever, but it definitely was worth it for us, not only because we got to take pictures with our entire bridal party and with everybody. We didn't have to worry about like running into each other after while we were taking pictures. So we got a lot of pictures out of the way before the ceremony, and then we had more time to have dinner and dance and socialize with everybody afterwards because we weren't worried about taking pictures as much. So that was definitely a pro of the first look. And also it just kind of helped ease both of our nerves. Like, I literally felt like I was gonna throw up, and as soon as I saw Jonathan for our first look, there was really nobody else around, obviously, besides our photographers. It just like made me feel so calm and relieved, and I was just able to be there in the moment with him, and it was just so much fun. We took a lot of our pictures together before the ceremony, and then of course we took more after, but we also got a lot of those pictures out of the way, and it was just a lot of nerves and anxiety and things going on like that. So having the first look for both of us, we both talked about it, we were so glad that we decided to do that because it just helped ease our nerves so much. And then of course the pictures we got out of the way. Of course, whenever I walked down the aisle and saw him again, it was like a whole waterworks situation going on, but it definitely helped ease those nerves a little bit. The reason I was nervous when I walked down the aisle, I think, is because everybody was there and I knew I was going to talk in front of everybody, not because of Jonathan being there. And it was also just a time that we could just have together, just us, nobody else really around, and just like be in that moment together, and it was just so awesome. And I love our pictures from that we've gotten back so far. So definitely recommend a first look, especially if you need more time for pictures or anything like that, or if you get nervous or anxiety like I do. Definitely recommend that. It definitely helped ease my nerves, helped ease his nerves, and we just really enjoyed that small amount of time together, just the two of us, before our ceremony. Another thing that we did at our reception, instead of like a guest book where people just write their names or whatever, we had this little photo book. I'm not actually sure where my mom got this book at. It probably wasn't very expensive, but she just put our names and then obviously our wedding date on the front of it, and then it has this little thing. We also had Polaroids. So this is basically what our guest book was. We had Polaroids sitting out, and then everyone could just go around and take pictures of themselves, take pictures of other people, and then there was tape and pins and all that good stuff that people could leave their picture in, leave their note with it. So we had a lot of people do this, actually a lot more people than we thought would do it, and then it was kind of cool because you could kind of see the day through their eyes. We had people going around like taking the Polaroids off the table and going around each table taking pictures, and then this was really fun for the kids as well. We have a lot of people that let the kids write in their messages. And then another thing that we did was we had a little bucket out. I forgot to include this, so I guess technically this will make like the 7th, but we did the Polaroid guest book situation, and then we also had a spot for create a bucket list for us. So basically we just set out pins, and then we had some things set out like this. They just said bucket list, and then people went through and like wrote things that we should do during our life, what we should add to our bucket list, adventures that we should go on, things like that, because we love to travel, we love to do all that kind of stuff, and we just wanted a lot of ideas. So we thought it would be fun for people to put things on here for us, and then we could like check them off as we go. And I think it would be really cool to like take these little cards with us whenever we do certain things, like take pictures with them and send them to whoever wrote them. But obviously that may be a little more difficult, but we really enjoyed this too because it gave us a lot of trip ideas, especially because we do love to travel, we love road trips and things like that. So that was another thing that we really enjoyed. We had it at our reception. It kind of kept people busy while we were taking pictures after the ceremony, and then it was just a nice way to engage and know who was there, because at the bottom obviously they signed it. So those were two things that we really enjoyed, was the photo book and the bucket list. Alright, so this is technically the 7th thing because I forgot about the bucket list thing, and this isn't really a tangible object or anything like that, nothing that we necessarily spent money on, and to be honest was not something that we planned on doing. It's just kind of how things worked out because of our honeymoon. If you haven't heard that story, I will link it down below. But because our honeymoon flight got messed up, we ended up having a couple days between our wedding and when we actually left for the honeymoon, and that was not our original plan. Our original plan was to leave the very next day, but since we didn't, I am so glad. I strongly recommend taking at least one day between your wedding and your honeymoon to just go home, relax, decompress, all the things, because wedding days are so crazy and you will be exhausted. You will not want to get on a plane, you will not want to drive. It is totally worth it to take the day off between the wedding and the honeymoon, or even if you want to take like a week off and then go on your honeymoon, whatever is best for you. But we definitely enjoyed having that day of rest and just being able to hang out and talk to people and like hang out with people that were in town for our wedding for another day. It was just really nice for us to be able to see friends and family for another day and not be so rushed to get out of our hometown and go on our honeymoon. And it was just so nice to relax and decompress and all the things together, kind of reflect on the wedding day and everything like that. So we definitely enjoyed that. Of course, like I said, it happened by chance. That wasn't our original plan. But if you are planning your wedding now and you haven't booked a honeymoon or anything like that, I strongly recommend taking a day in between the two, because it will help you kind of reset and then be excited for your honeymoon and not just like, oh oh my god, we have to travel all day and be exhausted the whole time and grumpy and all the things. So we definitely really enjoyed having a day in between. We actually had a couple days in between, which was not the plan, but at least one day in between I definitely recommend. So those are the 7 things that Jonathan and I are glad that we either spent money on or glad that we did for our wedding or after our wedding. I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you have any other post-wedding videos that you would like to see, I would be glad to share them with you. That is going to be all for this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below, and I can't wait to share all of my holiday vlogs and videos with you guys in the coming weeks, and I will see you guys back here next time.